Sonic has had a rough past. There's so many Sonic games that have stained his entire reputation and put him on house arrest for traumatizing children. Ever since Sonic 06, Sega must have realized they'd rather play it safe and focus on making very similar Sonic games, which is why we have this boost formula. Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Colors, Sonic Generations, and Sonic Forces all have this boost gameplay in them with varying quality. I liked Sonic Colors, but Sonic Forces just rubbed me the wrong way. It was ridiculously clunky, especially with classic Sonic. And that's another Sonic game that has the exact same boost formula, so you have to understand that when Sonic Frontiers was announced, it was both amazing and terrifying. Sonic Team can finally focus on giving Sonic the freedom he needs with open zone gameplay. But Sonic games have a pretty damn lengthy history of having glitches, so an open world Sonic game sounded like a recipe for disaster. Gameplay footage starts getting revealed and people start getting worried. The game looks so empty and the combat was really clunky. Months go by with people gathering around the Sonic Shrine, praying that this won't be another tragedy, and now that the game is finally out, we can see what it's like, and it's actually pretty alright. Sonic Frontiers is Sonic, Tails, Amy, and Knuckles all go to these islands to search for Eggman, but they end up getting sucked into some void thing and Sonic is the only one to make it out. So it's up to Sonic to gather tokens so that he can talk to his friends. I don't know, man, I don't make the rules. With the end goal being get all the Chaos Emeralds and kick a big robot's ass as Super Sonic. It's a pretty good concept, but what really makes the game shine is the combat. Instead of boosting through enemies while making a sandwich, taking a shower, filing your taxes, you can actually do more than that. Sonic can still boost, but it's less of a godsend and just more of a way to get from point A to B faster. Sonic has this circle attack thing, he can fire little balls of energy at the enemy, he can use this broken slash projectile thing. It's extremely refreshing and gives Sonic more than just holding the boost button and occasionally homing attack. There's also these linear levels that you need to play for vault keys, and this is by far my least favorite part of the game. They're surprisingly hard to find, especially in the late game, and once you get in, you realize that they fucking kept the same engine for Sonic that you had in Sonic Forces. I haven't played Generations, but in Colors and Unleashed, Sonic felt great to control. The Forces comes around, looks at that, and goes, no, we're making that shit worse. And they carried that over into Sonic Frontiers, meaning whenever you jump and want to turn around, good luck. It feels like chalk sliding down a whiteboard and has gotten me killed multiple times. That on top of the camera being locked is a death sentence. The levels are also ridiculously uninspired. They use Green Hill Zone, Chemical Plant, Sky Sanctuary, and the most ugly speed highway you've ever seen. Fun fact, Green Hill has been in Forces, Mania, Lost World, and Generations. I'm fucking tired of its slimy ass getting in every Sonic game. There are also some main missions where you feel like that you're playing a mini game instead of the game you want to play. This pinball bullshit was the bane of my existence. Why the fuck, when you get the right amount of points, do you have to also put it in the portal? I intentionally let the ball go when I had enough points to exit this garbage, but no, that means you get to do it all over again. Cease operation means end mission. It doesn't mean that you can continue. It means that you end the mission. Ugh. Imagine if some poor guy couldn't get it through the top even though he had enough points. Ugh. He gets to do it all over again. How fun. Every time you collect them, you get to fight a boss, and man, are some of these fights cool. The combat and music remind me of Metal Gear Rising, and it works really well. The later boss fights, which I'm not going to spoil, aren't as good though. They're janky and awkward, but the first two are definitely some of my favorite parts of the game. The mini bosses are also wildly inconsistent. Some of them lock you into this cutscene, which I hate. You're just exploring the open world, and bam! Cutscene of the guy's name, which yes appears every fucking time you see a mini boss, even when they respawn after you defeat them. Some feel pretty cool to fight if a bit janky, and some feel like they were barely playtested. Fuck the squid and the strider. The best part is when you can just explore the open zone. It's extremely empty and lifeless, which was the scary part, but the more you play it, the more you realize how much has been opened up to you, being able to jump from springs and go through sections to get a token. It doesn't sound like a great idea, but it works pretty well since it's basically a little obstacle course that can sometimes be chained into another obstacle course, which could easily be horrible if the game was super buggy, and it really isn't. The climbing sections really need an overhaul, and Island 2's horrible popping is a thing, but I only had about 2 bugs, and they're pretty minor, so Sonic, a good job. It's a great system. And then Island 3 comes around. Island 3 is horrible for the dumbest reasons. What fucking troglodyte thought it was a good idea to make this bird invulnerable? Island 3 also has this really weird obsession with 2D. Sometimes you'll bounce on a spring, hoping to be exhilarated with whatever's in front of you, but you remember that you already collected the token there. But what's this? Some asshole has locked you into 2D, even though it's very clear Sonic can just jump out of it. This stuff would be much less worse if it wasn't a fucking open world game. This is supposed to be the most freeing genre of gaming, so when this stuff happens, it just feels wrong. And the story is laughable. Sonic Team still has no clue what Sonic is. He is a goofy blue hedgehog that runs fast and fights a fat ass called Dr. Eggman. And Eggman makes ladybug robots. For some reason, the writers see that as an opportunity to talk about war and how Knuckles is a soldier or something. I don't fucking know, man. Now, with all this complaining, I would expect to not like this game, and I wouldn't say it's exceptionally good. Definitely not deserving of a 95% on Steam. Jesus Christ. It's weird though, because even though it feels bad a lot of the time, for some reason, it's still just fun. The core gameplay of running around going through obstacle courses and then fighting enemies is still pretty fun, and that's what you'll spend the majority of your time doing. But the thing that I like the most is that it finally gives Sonic something else instead of just boosting around. Sonic Team can create something really special if they stick with this formula and fix the things that are broken. I can't say I'd recommend this game to everyone, especially for people who barf with constant camera angle changes. What I can say though is that if you want a game that allows you to go fast with constant bursts of excitement, with a refreshing combat overhaul that is honestly a lot better than I thought it would be, and you're able to accept the shitty linear levels, mini-bosses, Island 3, and the story, then this game is worth giving a shot. Again, if Sonic Team can fix the things that I don't like about the game, I'd be pretty damn excited if this game gets a sequel and Sonic's future can finally look brighter. But first you gotta fix this fucking pinball bullshit. God, I hate this thing.